Let's jump right in. Welcome to this explainer. Today we're unpacking a really fascinating timeline from Dr. Eric Berg. We're going to look at exactly what happens to your body during a 14-day sugar detox. We'll be exploring the absolute incredible physiological shifts that kick in when you completely cut sugar from your diet. We're talking everything from a massive upgrade in your brain function all the way down to the deep healing of your vital organs.
So let's start with the big, central question of our source material, because the answer reveals a literal biological transformation. I mean, if you've ever wondered why it's just so incredibly hard to put down the sweets, or why you feel absolutely drained after a big meal, well, the mechanics behind giving up sugar for just 2 weeks, they hold all the answers.
All right, here's our roadmap for this journey. 1. The sugar craving cycle. 2. The 3-day hurdle. 3. The visible physical changes. 4. A sharper, calmer mind. 5. Deep internal healing. And finally, 6. Some really helpful tools for your journey.
Okay, Section 1, the sugar craving cycle, and the real biological reason why you are always hungry.
You see, it all comes down to this really vicious loop. Every single time you eat sugar, a hormone swoops in and pushes your blood sugar right down. And this creates a state of hypoglycemia, which is just a fancy term for a low blood sugar situation. But here's the trap, right? That sudden drop directly triggers a severe craving for even more sugar. So essentially, by getting rid of the sugar, you're actually getting rid of the craving itself.
Now, what's really fascinating here is this concept of insulin resistance. It sounds like a total system malfunction, right? But it's actually your body desperately trying to protect you by rejecting toxic sugar. Because sugar is highly toxic in large amounts, your body actually blocks insulin to limit how much sugar can get inside your cells. But unfortunately, this very defense mechanism inadvertently blocks the absorption of your vital nutrients, your minerals, and your vitamins too. So you might be eating plenty of food, but your cells, they are essentially starving. But just look at what happens when you finally break that cycle. By getting off this exhausting roller coaster, your blood levels actually stabilize. Your cells can finally start absorbing proper fuel and nutrients again, which naturally just kills your appetite. You're going to find yourself a whole lot less hungry, and you'll completely stop experiencing that heavy, brain fog fatigue you normally get right after eating a big meal.
Moving right along to Section 2, the 3-day hurdle, and the crucial transition to fat burning.
At a microscopic, cellular level, you aren't just tweaking your diet here. Your body is literally building brand new enzymes. You are actually forcing these little cellular machines to switch gears entirely, from running on that toxic sugar fuel to running on clean, healthy fat. It's like upgrading your car's engine while you're driving it.
To help set your expectations, our source lays out a really specific timeline. Okay, so day 1, you cut the carbs and the sugar. By day 3, well, you might actually experience a worsening of symptoms. This right here is the absolute peak of the hurdle, but you gotta push through, because by week 1, you'll experience this massive dumping of fluid and water weight. And then by week 2 and beyond, those cellular machines are fully adapted and they are just efficiently burning pure fat for fuel.
Now, if you're feeling a bit worried about those first 3 days where the symptoms peak, don't sweat it. There's actually a super simple solution. Dr. Berg points out that taking B vitamins, specifically from nutritional yeast, along with plenty of potassium, will essentially eliminate those withdrawal symptoms altogether. By giving your body these specific nutrients, you're pretty much ensuring a relatively easy, symptom-free transition.
Okay, Section 3, the visible physical changes. We're talking water, fat, and skin.
So the absolutely crucial takeaway here is this frankly staggering number. You can lose up to 13 pounds of retained fluid in just the very first week. I mean, you will be shocked by how much water weight you are needlessly holding on to. Dropping this fluid rapidly shrinks your stomach, your clothes are going to start loosening up around your midsection, and critically, it eases a very dangerous, unhealthy burden on your heart.
And it's not just about the weight loss. Lowering your sugar intake profoundly impacts your physical appearance through hormone stabilization. Your skin literally begins to glow and acne just decreases. For women, consuming sugar spikes androgens, which directly creates acne. Quitting sugar entirely reverses this. And for men, high insulin actually lowers testosterone. So dropping the sugar protects and preserves those vital male testosterone levels.
Let's shift gears to Section 4, a sharper, calmer mind, and how we start waking up the brain. You know, if you usually feel really fatigued or grouchy or just stressed out after eating,
It's simply because high sugar makes the brain incredibly tired. Returning to normal blood sugar levels literally wakes your brain right back up. You'll notice almost immediately that you are significantly calmer, way less stressed, and you'll find yourself much more focused, with amazing concentration and way less of that scattered ADD-like feeling when you're trying to work.
Furthermore, your brain actually begins utilizing a completely new premium fuel source called ketones. Ketones are produced when your body runs on fat instead of sugar. And what is absolutely mind-blowing here is that these ketones actively support the growth of brand new nerve cells in your brain. Think about that. You aren't just protecting your brain, you are actively growing its capacity.
All right, Section 5, Deep Internal Healing and Repairing Your Major Organs.
This breakdown highlights some massive, truly life-changing upgrades. First, your liver starts literally dumping accumulated fat. That means you are actively cleaning out a fatty liver, which directly correlates to shrinking your belly size. As for the kidneys, just removing that high-carb stress greatly improves their overall function. And for your heart and arteries, the decreased inflammation significantly reduces your long-term risk of dangerous clots, arterial plaque, and strokes. And again, all of this is happening while your brain is busy growing those new nerve cells we just talked about. And because your entire biological system is no longer constantly toxic and inflamed, you're also going to experience significantly less overall body stiffness and a very noticeable reduction in your everyday physical pain. Your body is quite literally breathing a massive sigh of relief.
Which brings us to Section 6, Tools for Your Journey and Accessing Dr. Berg's app.
To help you out, Dr. Berg offers a totally free app specifically designed to support you through this exact process. You simply download it, and boom, you can easily access audio versions of his material, which is absolutely perfect for listening while you're out walking or driving. You can also explore little mini-courses, tons of great recipes, and handy PDF downloads. And in return for all these amazing free resources, he really just asks that you leave an honest, unbiased review. Fair trade, right?
Our source actually playfully noted that, well, the proof is in the pudding. He quickly corrected himself, though, because of course giving up the pudding and the icing on the cake is exactly how you achieve these amazing bodily upgrades in the very first place.
And that brings us to our final thought. Knowing now that your very cells can completely change their core fuel source in just 2 weeks, and knowing the incredible physical and mental clarity that's just waiting for you on the other side, are you ready to endure 3 short days of adaptation for a lifetime of deep cellular healing? What small step are you going to take today to kickstart this amazing transformation? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, happy healing!